Hey, what's up, everybody? The grid is officially done for this season of RLCS, which is kind of weird to say, knowing how fast Rocket League seasons used to go by. It has been officially like 9 or 10 months, and the first part of RLCSX is done. It's checked off. We've still got regionals to go, but in this video, we're going to be recapping the NA grid, the results, what it means, who gets a wildcard spot, all that and more. What is up, everybody? Lawler here, your inside source for all things Rocket League. A couple days ago, we ended up capitalizing on the grid. Playoffs and everything are finally done. So we now know who is going to be the wild card going into the major, as well as just the final results. Playoffs and everything are done. So 16 teams, they had 5 days, 3 matches on each day, and then the playoffs, which wrapped up on Tuesday. So with that said, we're going to do this pretty straightforward, really easy, and kind of just go through all the results. The first thing going to be the matches in general, the important stuff. So if you take a look at the regular season and the overall, you can see all the results. And from top down, we're going to do the top 6: Energy, Space Station, G2, KCP, XSET, and V1. The V1 spot, or the 6th and final spot, came down to the wire. It was between V1, Envy, and Rogue. Rogue and V1 were tied, and if Rogue won, they had to have at least a +2 game differential, and for V1 they just had to stay ahead. So their victory basically squeaks out Rogue. On the other side of things, Envy was at one point 1 game ahead, and they were playing E United, and if E United won, then that means the game differential was in favor of V1. So in order for V1 to qualify, they had to have Envy lose. They'd have Rogue win or lose as long as the game differential that they had was better. And going into the day, it was pure chaos. So version 1 is the last seed. They end up getting 6th. And the way that works is we then look at the playoffs. And the playoffs are a page playoff system. What that means is based upon your results throughout the season, because it is a league play, Energy and Space Station automatically get buys into the 3 and 4 spot. G2 and Kansas City Pioneers play each other in a qualifying match where the loser will drop down and the winner will move on to play Space Station, because Space Station is the 2nd seed. And then XSET and V1 play each other in the 5-6 spot, and whoever wins that plays the loser of G2 and KCP. So I'm not going to really go into the breakdown of all the matches and who won and this and that. The big thing I want to focus on is the results, because of what they mean. The only match that really matters is actually the first one, the lower round 1, which kind of is unfortunate in regards to just the excitement of the day. You're basically talking the upper and lower quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the grand finals are all literally just for money. That's all it really does. Normally in these playoffs, if any of these teams have not qualified for the major yet, they get that wild card spot. In this case, that is both XSET and V1. XSET and V1 both don't have a guarantee in yet. And even though technically only Rogue and I think Space Station have qualified and guaranteed a spot for the major, the other 4 teams just haven't had Regional 3 play out yet. So the points-wise, they should still make it in. It just isn't locked in per se in case some crazy anomaly situation happens. So it does matter a little bit, but primarily it's XSET and V1 that are fighting for it. And that match is actually pretty ugly. At the very beginning, version 1 goes down 0-3. And just looks sloppy, slow, making mistakes. Credit to XSET, obviously, with their defense, making a lot of incredible saves and being able to stop those things from developing. And then you do get into game 4, game 5. XSET starts getting there. In game 6, version 1 pretty much controlled the entirety of the game. There was a shot that was on target. Torment tried to redirect it. Ended up saving a shot that was going in, but with how XSET's defense has been playing, I do not blame him for going for that. So that ends up not working out. And then I think it's Alpha Kep at the very end chases Calm up the back wall and goes to bump him, hits the brakes, passes it down on the near post, and then they score it. And that's the only goal. So XSET ends up winning 4-2 in the series. They move on. They get what is essentially the wild card spot and everything else that comes with it. So congratulations to them. And that does some interesting things actually for the rankings. The rest of the results are what they are. The biggest surprise, Kansas City Pioneers does end up beating G2. And they move on to the semifinals. G2 does beat XSET and moves on. And then from there, it's pretty much a coin flip for whoever you want to win. Pretty close series all about. Really exciting matches altogether. But again, if you want to go and watch those matches, I recommend going back and watching them. The bracket is what it is. Results are exciting no matter what. But ultimately, the big thing that matters is the major spot that gets guaranteed from it. So keep that in mind. We can take a peek quickly at the rankings, and you can see like from the North American rankings specifically, the ones that qualify for the North American Championship. I'll be doing a full video on this as well as power rankings to go with it, about the 6 teams that go into the RLCS X Championships, the top 6 from North America. It does look pretty solidified between G2 and FaZe. It's just up to KCP to kind of fight that situation. But as for spring, it's not really all that open-ended. It's pretty solidified on who's going to the major. But that wildcard spot is basically just creating spoilers, is what it feels like. So it will be interesting to see on how it plays out. Regionals for a lot of teams, because they can't go to the championships, are just no pressure, go crazy, have fun kind of situation. And that lack of pressure can do some really exciting things. I always think about like Fireburner's last run at DreamHack and how they made it to the grand finals, even though there was no pressure. It just allows them to kind of get into a mentality where it's like, let's just have some fun. Let's do our thing. And that can be a very dangerous tool. And I think that's going to apply for a lot of players. So I do think NA Regional 3 could be some pretty exciting results. I think it could possibly be all over the place. But again, you never know. I do think there's a bit more consistency here in North America from what we've been seeing. But primarily, I feel like we're probably going to get a little bit more chaos here in the final regional. We've got all of our teams, if you guys want to take kind of a preview of that, because these matches will be happening today when this video comes out. So it is going to be Rogue, Kansas City Pioneers, G2, Sonics, Envy, Energy, FaZe Clan, Space Station, V1, Volt, Austin, Alpine Esports, 72PC, Team.exe, Stromboli, Ghost Gaming, Exet, Charlotte Phoenix, Continuum, and Oxygen Esports. I know some people are definitely rooting for Continuum, and hoping that similar regards to what happened with Wolves and Cookser can happen with Kronovi, just because there is some parallels in that regard. There's also some teams with some young players like Austin's team that are very talented, and excited to see how they play. Volt, also another team that is coming back, one that you should not take lightly. Maybe Alpine bounces back. Team.exe is going to be probably the newest implementation. This is a team that nobody has seen before. This is Monster 442, Knight, and Tito. So who knows how things will play out, but maybe we'll get another chaotic group situation because of the grid. You just never know. So that is pretty much what's going on for the week. We'll have, like I mentioned, coming up soon, we'll have a power rankings going into the championships. Basically, the people that I think are going to be the most likely to win based upon recent results and how things have been going. We will also end up doing just a qualifications, teams that are going into it, all that kind of stuff. I'll try to embody those all into one with the power rankings, just so you guys don't have to watch multiple videos for that stuff. But yeah, if there's anything you guys would like to see, like to hear about, any suggestions on stuff you'd like me to talk about, drop those in the comments down below if I haven't made videos for those already. And we will see you next time. Make sure you hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and that does it for me. Have a good one. Peace.